This NorthJerseySports.com multimedia presentation is brought to you by the 2015 Blue Eagles Softball Camp, to be held from July 27th through the 30th on the bucolic campus of Immaculate Heart Academy in Washington Township. Open to girls entering grades 5 through 9 and staffed by counselors that include some of the top coaches, players, and teachers of the game, spearheaded, of course, by IHA head coach Anthony Lareza. Learn the game the right way at the home of the Blue Eagles, who have made the state finals, won more state and Bergen County titles than any other program in state history. Spots at the camp fill up quick, so visit ihasoftball.com/summer-camp or call 973-477-8419 to get in under the tag.
Ball game, NorthJerseySports.com's original multimedia series, talking all things North Jersey girls basketball here, and it is championship weekend in Bergen County as Sunday at Ramapo College in a 2 p.m. tip-off. The top-seeded Immaculate Heart Academy Blue Eagles will be playing the third-seeded Immaculate Conception Blue Wolves. Here all to talk all about it tonight. I am Corey Doviak, being joined by my resident panel of North Jersey girls basketball insiders, starting with our very own Richie Ballgame Barton. What's up, Richie B?
Well, a whole lot of nothing, just talking hoops, and I know Talking Hoops is another podcast that we may or may not have on NorthJerseySports.com, but hey, girls hoops is still hoops, and I love it.
Yes, absolutely. And the other member of our panel tonight is Paramus head coach Scott Papetti. What's up, Scotty P?
Nothing much, man. I thought you had forgotten about us in the ball game for the last couple of weeks. I'm sitting at home waiting for the call. I finally got it.
Next time you actually are sitting by your phone waiting for us to call, could you please take a picture and we can use it as the top shot of the day of NorthJerseySports.com, please?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about the Bergen County girls basketball final, and we will have Immaculate Conception head coach Jeff Horohonich join us live on the show. I extended the invitation to IHA head coach Steve Silver, talked to him this afternoon, and he had to politely decline. He had some family function to attend tonight, and I certainly wasn't going to keep him from that. So he didn't turn us down. He just had other things to do, and we will get him back on if they win. We'll talk about the county final with him. If not, we'll use him on our state tournament preview, but we appreciate him getting back to us anyway. So let's just talk about it from our perspective before we get to Jeff Horohonich. And, Richie, you've really been our girls basketball beat writer for most of this season here. So, because Steve will not be joining us on the show, why don't you give us a little breakdown of IHA and what IHA has to do to be successful against this Immaculate Conception team that is just playing its best basketball right now?
First of all, we know Silver a long time. If you see, he's like, he didn't turn us down. He just couldn't make it. That's turning us down. Come on, we're the ball game, for crying out loud.
You don't have to get into technicalities. I mean, he was kind enough to call me back and apologize for not being able to make it. I didn't want to seem like the guy was being a jerk. We love Steve Silver. He's a nice guy. And he had other things to do besides talk to me, you, and Scott. Can you give the guy a break?
Well, listen, the ball game takes precedence over family, all right?
My wife can attest to that, that's for sure.
Yeah, she loves you.
I'm not editing it. I'm leaving it in, so go ahead, hang yourself, pal.
Yeah, great. That's all right. So anyway, how does Scotty, you were at the game last week, IC against South River Day. Sam Fearing played about as well as you could have a high school player play. She was involved in every facet of the game. South River Day did everything they did to stop her and couldn't do it. IC, has a little bit more depth and more horses and more size to do that. But, it's going to be an interesting battle because throughout the tournament, I've seen IC, 3 times during the tournament, and, they get, a lot of, I don't want to say cheat points because you earn them, but, offensive rebounds and putbacks and getting to the line from there. And that is, that's going to be hard to do against IHA when you have, Jordan Wilmoth and Kayla OJ and Megan Swords coming off the bench all over 6 feet inside. So I think for IHA, obviously, listen, Fearing's going to get she's going to be in double digits somewhere. It's just whether she's closer to 12 to 15 or 20 to 25. The question is for IC, who is going to step up and fill that second scoring role, getting them, the 12 to 14 points necessary to really stay with IHA.
You know what? After watching them against Saddle River Day, obviously Fearing was clearly the best player, I think, in the entire gym, both boys and girls in Ramapo that day.
Right.
But, obviously them winning the game, they had Saddle River Day made a run in the third quarter and everything, but I really think the key to this game is going to be Jasmine G, because I thought that she missed some golden opportunities to put that game away early and in the middle of the game, and Saddle River Day was able to hang around, and she needs to step up and have a big game inside for them to match up with the bigs for IHA. I think the guards for Immaculate Conception, obviously they're young, but I was very impressed with what they had. But I'm going to tell you, I think for Immaculate Conception to win, I think G is going to have to step her game up a bit to match up with guys.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I was just going to add to that. Having seen G, numerous times over the past couple of years, the thing about her is that when she makes her first shot or two, she's one of the players in the game where you visibly see the confidence grow in her, but that also goes the other way. If she has an early turnover or misses a shot, she tends to defer, especially when Sam's going, which I understand to a degree. But she's someone that if she steps up and just says, I'm going to be the most aggressive player in the paint inside, IC's got a real shot to win this game.
Yeah. The thing is, though, just listening to you guys talk, and you've both seen both teams play, the thing, just listening to this conversation, it's like Immaculate Conception has to do something extra to get this win, whereas it sounds like Immaculate Heart Academy, IHA, just needs to really play its game. I mean, the defense is unquestioned with IHA. They're tough to score on. It's going to be tough for Immaculate Conception to get anything going consistently offensively, not saying they can't. But, Richie, is IHA the obvious favorite here, or do you really, if they play 10 times, in a one-game scenario in a county final, anybody can win this game. We know that. But if they play 10, do you give a heavy advantage to IHA?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And the reason why is the backcourt of, because I think overall the front, like Sam Fearing could dominate, or Jordan Wilmoth could get going, and she could get you 12, and so could OJ for IHA, and they could be huge factors. But I think for IHA, it's the backcourt, and for different reasons. Caitlin Roche, obviously, she's a streaky shooter. I've seen her have some really off nights, and I've seen her where, she can't miss. And when she's on, IHA is really, really tough to guard.
Yeah, because you can't guard against penetration and guard the wings and guard inside all at the same time. Especially when Immaculate Conception is probably going to be in man-to-man most of the time. Exactly,
but I think Ms. Ropian is the most important player to that team, not only because she's reliable with the ball and, has been, between soccer and basketball, has been, 100 big games over her high school career, but also because she makes it, the underrated thing about them and the whole team in general is that she leads it, that she makes it tough for an opposing team to run sets. So if you're not just, going up and down the floor and basically playing a pickup game, she's going to cause a couple of turnovers a game just on sheer hustle alone. And those possessions in a big game always seem to come back and bite you at the end.
Scotty, biggest thing that if IHA does what well, it's not close.
Yeah, you know what? That's the thing. I think, like we were saying, IC has got to play, even though they have the best player on the floor, they do have a lot of young kids still, and I will be honest. I mean, in the last couple of years, I think IC's backcourt has improved tremendously. You know, but are they at that level yet of IHA's backcourt? That's going to be a big test too. I mean, listen, from what I saw the other day, I mean, some of those girls, the sophomores and a couple freshmen off the bench, they can get going. You know, they can make IHA. It could get a little dangerous. Because I will say, it looks like Immaculate Conception has a little bit more depth coming off the bench,
right?
As far as players, you know, to rotate in. That, you know, they might be young, but they obviously are playing at this level, and they've played, I'm sure, AAU basketball at that level as well. So, you know, I think I tend to disagree a little bit with Richie as far as in 10 games, is IHA going to win the majority of the games? I think a lot of them will be close, and you know, it'd be maybe 7 or 6-4 or something like that. But to me, if you have the best player on the floor, I think that has to hold some water. You know, and I think that has a lot that's going to have a lot to say about it. So I do think IHA will be is the favorite, but you know, I don't know. For some reason, I think Immaculate Conception can knock them off.
Well, that's our take on the upcoming Bergen County final. Why don't we get the take of a head coach who will actually be coaching in that game as we welcome in Immaculate Conception head coach Jeff Horohonich, and he joins us live on the Moe's Southwest Grill hotline. And H, you know, we're going to change the name of this site to hsports.com. Second appearance here on the ball game this year. Richie Barton's been all over the Blue Wolves through this tournament run here. Little softball documentary that we'll get into later on in the next season coming up. But thanks again for joining us here on the ball game.
Oh, my pleasure.
And, you know, H Sports is a lot, I'm just thinking about it, it's got a ring to it. It's a lot easier to type in than NorthJerseySports.com, so I think I'm going to go with that if you don't mind.
Okay.
Well, it's obviously a huge time here for Immaculate Conception. You know, when you think about it from where you started to where you're going, now you guys are headed to the Bergen County Girls Basketball Tournament Final for the first time in school history. I mean, just give us a sense of what's going on down there, the atmosphere around the school and everything else.
It's just been a great buzz, and, you know, alumni been calling and emailing, and, you know, they're just so amazed and happy. You know, all the Felicia nuns on campus, you know, they've been great coming up and wishing us well and everything. So, you know, when you got them praying for you, it's a little bit of a bonus. So, but it's been great. So.
Yeah, has it been hard to kind of? I know what your answer will probably be to this, but has it been hard to keep the kids' heads on straight a little bit? I mean, this is history making for you guys down there.
Yeah, I mean, they're really loose, having fun, and you know, which has been great. And you know, just you know, we played one day during the week, and then we've been, you know, they had a day off with the snow, but they're, you know, they're loose, ready to go, and really excited about this opportunity, and you know, hopefully try to finish the job.
Yeah, all right. Now I'll turn this interview over to two guys who have actually seen you play this year, starting with Richie Ballgame Barton. Go ahead, Richie.
Coach, talk about, you just said being loose. Do you think the fact that there was you were such an overwhelming favorite in every game that you played in the county tournament so far, and you knew you were going to get every team's best shot? Not that you're not going to get IHA's, obviously, but now you have a different kind of mindset where there's not that pressure, you know, on every single possession where you're saying, you know, hey, let's just go out and play the way we know how to play and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we've been, you know, talking about, you know, execution is going to be real key. You know, they're a very good, strong defensive team. They're very sound fundamentally at both ends of the court. And, you know we have to bring, you know, our A game, you know, to accomplish this and beat, you know, a quality team like IHA. And, you know, that's what our mindset has been, you know, this whole week, and, you know, preparing for, you know, Sunday.
Go ahead, Scotty. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll put out now.
Real quick, from a tactical standpoint, is it a little bit different to prepare for this team because they're so, you know, so adept when it comes to defensive rebounding? You know, you really pounded other teams, you know, on the offensive glass. But with IHA, since you're such a good defensive rebounding team, you have to really value every possession.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting. I think that we're very similar, size-wise and everything else. They have a little more experience. They're a very much senior-laden team and stuff. But, I think, we're athletic, they're athletic, and, it's going to be, a battle inside. And, you're right. I mean, both teams are going to have to execute their game plans well. And, who's ever able to do that and, take advantage of, situations, is going to come out on top.
Richie, now you say, Scotty, you got a question?
Well, you're the host of the show. Come on, do your job there, buddy.
I keep stepping on everybody, so I'm just trying to stay out of the way. I'll do it for you, though. Ready? Scotty, you got a question?
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, by the way, great job. This is such a great run for you guys, and obviously seeing you guys play, definitely the best two teams in the county are playing in the final. But, knowing that you guys pretty much have the best player in North Jersey, if not the state, on your team, and that IHA is going to do their best to limit her as best they can. Obviously, they're not going to completely limit her, but who do you think is going to be the X factor for you guys? Whether or not you're going to overcome, a senior-laden team, as you said, and someone who's been here before.
I mean, I think, the whole group really, our guards are going to have to shoot it well. And, Jasmine and Nikki are going to have to, play good defense for us and, also bang the boards. And, I think Jasmine, will be a key kid, inside for us. And, but like I said, I think it's definitely our guard play is going to be, a situation that they have to play well and shoot well. And if they are, trying to double or, triple Sam, the other kids got to step up and, hit shots and make shots.
I'll tell you, over the last weekend when you played Saturday, I was very impressed with Lattimore, right? That's the last name?
Yeah, Lattimore. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's the first time I've seen you really for extended game this year as opposed to Lattimore. That girl is got so much better in 1 year. I was very impressed with her.
Yeah, from the beginning, when we were, playing Highlands in the Christmas tournament and seeing Rumston and St. John Vianney and Mary Bertram, she's just matured, really understood that, what we asked of our point guard, and she just has to build confidence and, every day, and, she had a lot of fun playing and running the team, and, forever, who spells her, has given us good minutes, and, but like I said, Jordan plays, with no fear, and she's ready for this challenge, and, the freshmen have definitely grown up a lot, in this time frame.
H, do you expect them to run, maybe a box and one or some junk defenses, for lack of a better term, to try to slow down Sam, or do you expect them? I'm sure you got to prepare for everything, but most work on man-to-man. How are you handling what IHA might try to throw at you?
I think, knowing Steve, for a very long time, I know he's not a real big, him and myself really are not real big, into gimmicks and stuff like that. What's got us here, we're going to go with, and that's it. And, where the chips fall, but, I don't think either one are going to look to deviate, from, how we've played and, IHA has played that way and has been very successful. So to go away from it, would be a little surprising. But, we saw them last night against Highlands, and it was a good game. And we saw some interesting things, and, we'll get ready for some of that. And, like I said, I think, we're very similar, and, so, going over stuff, it's kind of, we kind of both do a lot of the same type of things. So, like I said, it's going to come down to, execution and stuff like that. But I don't foresee, any, craziness. It's a lot.
Yeah.
They're 20-2, we're 20-1.
Right.
So you might as well stay with what got you, there so far.
Yeah, whatever Steve Silver's doing over there has been working out okay for him so far this year, that's for sure. How about looking back at it now, when you think about you mentioned the teams that you played earlier in the season. You went independent this year, and now that you look back at the tournament run that you've had, and as you get to the final here, how much did that help you? I mean, no disrespect to the rest of the league that you were playing in, but I don't know if you would have pulled out some of the, that first round game against Bergenfield or some of these other ones had you not played that type of schedule and just, never having a night off, really.
Yeah, I mean, we told the kids, we had to come and play every time. You had to, bring your A game, and a lot of times we were able to, at times we weren't. But I think it really helped us. And, I told them it's not about, how many wins and losses we're going to have, but, be prepared. So come February into March, that we're playing our best basketball and, it has really helped us. I mean, we've seen some real high quality teams, and so these kids really, I don't think there's anything that could really surprise them now. I mean, playing Vianney and Rumston and, Life Center and Blair and, St. Anthony's and Long Island and all them. I mean, it really they're all high quality teams, and, so it really helped them, and I think it helped the maturing process. And I think it helped us become a little more disciplined too, because we had to be, because, against these teams, if you don't play well, you're going to get beat. And, but it was great for us, and it was great for the kids because they got to go to a lot of different types of tournaments. A lot of college coaches got to see them play, and a lot of them now are, getting good looks from, Division I programs and stuff. So that's what it's all about.
Yep, you certainly have come a long way. Richie?
I mean, talk about how can I put it? How do you harness all, there's going to be so much adrenaline and so much emotion. How do you harness that and really get the best out of these kids? Not so much for Sam, because Sam has been, playing high-level AAU and, been in big games before throughout her career, but a couple of these girls that you play haven't been in as many big games with so much importance.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. They all pretty much, except for, Kalab playing the same AAU type program, and a lot of them had a great summer this past summer and got to play in a lot of high profile stuff. But, this is different, and we've talked about it, we talked about it today and we'll talk about it tomorrow. And, we know that, I think really both teams, are gonna, they're gonna have that adrenaline flowing and stuff. And like you said, how do you harness it and don't hit a wall, and, where you could be 2 minutes into the game and you feel like you've been playing 20 minutes,
right.
So, we've talked about that. We've kept it really loose, last couple of days in practice, and, hopefully they're going to be able to, stay that course. And this group has been really special. They're a very tight-knit group. They hang out a lot together, and it's just a nice blend. And, they've really bonded, and I think that has really helped us, where a lot of games that we might have lost last year, we've won this year, and I think that has a lot to do with it. And, they just have been there for each other and have played hard and with each other. So, it's going to be, interesting to see. I told them today, when they walk out, there's well over probably 1,000 people to 1,500 people. It's, you've never experienced, but it's the greatest feeling in the world. And, so it's something they'll never forget. And, hopefully they'll be able to, if you know a way to get them to relax, tell me, because I don't think any of us really, you just hope they will and have fun. Because
I think what Richie was asking you is if you'd like to practice your pregame speech right here on the air. Go ahead. No.
I'll tell you, actually, it's going to be. You know what? Like I tell my players, if right now, if you need to be motivated to play this type of game, then you should not be playing basketball or any sport, because you should have no matter what, you should be ready. Truthfully, like last week when we played Saddle River Day, I took the scouting report and right in front of them, I ripped it up, and I told them this does not mean anything. If we could play IC basketball and you guys play with confidence and go out there and have fun and work hard, you'll be successful. And I said, it doesn't matter what this paper says. And, they did a pretty good job. And, So hopefully they'll be able to climb to one more step and get it done.
And then he promptly took the backup copy of his game plan out of his back pocket and went over it just before the tip.
Actually, I knew it by heart, so I really didn't even need the paper. So
that is a great coaching trick, though. Definitely for sure. You spent 400 hours watching tape, and yeah, Scotty, you got one more for H before we let him out of here?
No, I mean, listen, I think it's going to be a great game, and you know what? I think it's obviously the two best teams in the county. I think everyone's going to be excited to see it, and to see Sam play versus a team, one of the best teams in Bergen County as well. I think it's going to be fun. Me being a public school guy, you don't want to root for the parochials, but I'll tell you, it's hands down the best matchup, and I think it's going to be a fun one. I wish you all the luck.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Jeff Horohonich, head coach of the Immaculate Conception Blue Wolves here, headed for, no matter what happens, it's been a great run for you. I'm sure you want to go out there and finish it off, and it's no consolation. But, win or lose, when you look back at this season with this group of girls, you're going to realize what an accomplishment it's already been. But, hey, listen, because you accepted our invitation to join us here in the ball game, and Steve Silver had dinner plans with his wife and could not join us on this edition of the ball game, I'll say it, I'm rooting for you, pal.
Thank you very much. And I'm about to walk into our North and have dinner myself. So.
All right. Well, we won't keep you from it any longer. Thanks again for hopping on here for the second time this year, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Guys, thank you for everything.
Well, interesting stuff there, as always, with Immaculate Conception head coach Jeff Horohonich. We've said all there is to say about the Bergen County girls basketball final. Nothing left now but for Richie B to get out there and cover the game. But before we go tonight, Richie, we should make mention, because while Bergen County is going to crown its champion this weekend, Passaic County is going to determine its finalists down with a location change. The game switched from Kennedy High School on Saturday now over to Wayne Valley High School on Saturday. And, we talk so much about how IHA is the number one team in our coverage area, and rightfully earned and rightfully so. But a close number two is Eastside, and they are in action this weekend as well.
They sure are. I mean, they handed IHA their only loss, and in the other meeting, IHA beat them in overtime. So it shows how close those two teams are from a talent perspective. Eastside is the overwhelming favorite to win the tournament. They face West Milford. West Milford, I got to see last week. Liked what they did. I mean, they really they valued possession. They didn't turn the ball over. They didn't really take bad shots. Tess Karinko, sophomore guard, nice two-way player, can really shoot it, really good defender. But when, basically, as Coach Ray LaCroix says, we have her guarding the other team's best player. She always does a great job. A little bit different when you're going against a Taylor Brown, an all-state player going to Clemson who is, 6'2", and can handle the ball and can beat you, in a number of different ways. West Milford's still a relative, they only have one senior starter anyway. They're a relatively young team. Eastside is a senior-laden team filled with Division I players. I don't think that's going to be much of a game. Patterson Kennedy against Passaic Tech. The 2-3 game. Kennedy's already beaten them twice. First one was kind of close till the fourth quarter, and then the second one they ran away with it in the second half. Basically, that's because Passaic Tech only plays 5 players. They have a pretty good starting 5, but against the better competition, that wears down. And for Kennedy, Tajay Stevenson has emerged as one of the better players in North Jersey, at least, if not one of the more underrated ones, a guard who could score from the inside and the outside. I say Kennedy by double digits there.
Hey, Scotty, you got to be impressed. I mean, Richie B rattling off the Passaic County semifinals off the top of his head.
I'm very impressed. I have no idea what he's talking about. All I know is I do have Passaic Valley next week, so I'm expecting a detailed scatter report from him as soon as we go up the line.
There's Scotty's breakdown of the Passaic County Final Four. He's playing Passaic Valley next week, and it has Passaic in the school's name. So great stuff, Richie B. Hey, we will be covering the Passaic County Final Four, boys and girls, on Saturday. So we'll get more information on it, and we'll get some pictures for our Unknown Rankers Top 20, Richie B. That's what I'm most excited about. You know that.
Oh, it makes 2 of us.
All right, Bergen County Final Sunday, Passaic County Final Saturday afternoon. we got it all covered here on the ball game. Check us out next week, and we'll go over everything that happened and everything that will be to come with the state tournament, and we can open up the guest list a little bit wider there because a lot of people are playing in the state tournament, and we know we have one guy who will definitely be available. Scotty P, what are you going to be doing during the state tournament?
That's not nice. That's just wrong.
Follow the leader.